everyone, Dumont, Owen here. I am so excited. It's been a couple of weeks since my show has been on the air. I contracted a rather nasty flu and cough. But I'm feeling much better, and I am so excited about being, back here with you. We have, you know, lots of people signed up. I think, finding your ideal clients on LinkedIn is a good topic, and it's something worth thinking about because, LinkedIn has over 900 million users now. So there's a pretty good chance that your ideal clients are using LinkedIn either because their clients are on LinkedIn and this is where they find them, or they work in some way in a B2B area. But with over 900 million people on LinkedIn, there are probably a few of your ideal clients there, wouldn't you think? So before I get started with today's talk, let me know who's out there and where you're coming to us from. I am in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio today. It's in the low 70s. The sun's out. I feel like I woke up in a dream. But I moved to Ohio, which is not a temperate climate from Cleveland or from Florida. So the shock of snow and ice was a bit much to deal with. But today what I want to talk to you about is how to find your ideal clients because, after all, if you are a small business owner, that's why you're on LinkedIn, right? Oh, hey, Celeste. Oh, from Chicago. Great. Oh, Columbus. Great. Hey, let's hear it for the Midwest. We show up. Anyway, I'm just really excited about sharing this. Oh, Tennessee. Hey, we've got a good group going here. The Midwest is definitely showing up well on this broadcast. So when we talk about finding our ideal clients, that implies that we know who they are, right? And sometimes that is a little more difficult than at others. I do a talk sometimes about a cat that I used to have. His name was Fat Max, which gives you kind of an image. Max loved to eat, and at one point he figured out how to jump up on the counter in the kitchen. I must have had a chair near there. Oh, South Africa! Wow. So we've got a good crowd going here today. Anyway, when we left off with the story, Fat Max was on the kitchen counter and he figured out if he knocked the cat food off the counter and the top came off. Okay, so Max was excited. My other cat was excited. I came home and there was cat food just everywhere. So I put it up on top of the refrigerator. And for the next 7 nights, I woke up in the middle of the night with this crash where Max he found the cat food container again and he knocked it off the refrigerator. That cat kept doing that. Nothing I did would stop him from going up and knocking off that cat food container because it worked once. And, that's all he needed, Fat Max food, right? So I woke up for about a week, to the sound of this cat food container hitting the floor until I figured out that I could put it in a cabinet. But, so I was a little slow there and Max definitely had the upper hand. But my point is that sometimes we play to the one-off, meaning we don't want to get really, really specific about our ideal clients or we don't want to eliminate some people as our ideal clients because one of them signed at some point. Okay, I can say I work only with creative people, but then I might flash back and go, oh, but wait, there was that one financial advisor. Well, maybe that is creativity. Let me try a different one. Well, there was that accountant, any occupation I say is going to be wrong because they can all be creative, but it worked once. And so we don't want to lose that opportunity to get one more person like that. The problem is that just because it worked once doesn't mean that it's going to work again. I mean, that individual may have had very, very specific circumstances that aren't going to apply to every other financial advisor out there or every other accountant out there. So we keep them in the pool, just kind of blindly hoping. It's kind of like going fishing and throwing your bait in and just seeing if anything, grabs the bait. So my suggestion to you is that before you ever go to LinkedIn and look for your ideal clients, that you know who they are. And that implies really drilling down and getting very clear on not only their demographics, but their psychographics too. You want to know what their biggest challenges and problems are, so that you're offering the solutions that are going to be something that they want to buy. You want to be very clear on how they shop for solutions. Do they do research? Do they do other things? You want to know how long they've been in business, perhaps, if that's what you're looking for. If you're a career coach or a job search coach, you might be looking at the last date that they were working, right? So there are all different ways of defining this, but it's really, really important to be clear. So I'm going to leave that one with you today. Definitely, keep following, because I'm going to cover all of these things over the next several weeks. So without going any further into that, let's get to today's talk. So today, what we're talking about is how to find your ideal clients on LinkedIn. And I'm going to show you a number of different ways. And with the exception of only one, they are all available to you with the free version. You do not have to pay for a premium version. Hold on just a second. I'm going to shut down my mail so I'm not distracted. Okay. So we're going to talk about 7 different ways you can find your ideal clients. And some of these are going to surprise you. They're really, really fast. Okay. So, here's what we're talking about today. First of all, why is LinkedIn the best platform for identifying B2B and in many cases B2C leads? And B2C might be an example of B2C might be that you're a career coach. So you're looking for people who want to make career transitions. Those people would almost certainly be on LinkedIn. So that's B2C. So it really depends on who the clients are that you're trying to serve. We're going to talk about where prospecting, where finding those ideal clients falls in terms of the lucrative LinkedIn system, the system that I've created to kind of walk you through each of the steps. And then finally, we're going to look at 7 ways you can find your ideal clients on LinkedIn. And at the end, stick with me, because at the end of this, I am going to go on LinkedIn and show you how to do all these things. But I also want you to stick until the end, because I'm going to give you the link to my LinkedIn roadmap, which is actually the roadmap you follow to get all this set up on LinkedIn. And when you get the roadmap, don't automatically opt out, because over the next 7 days, I'm going to send you some tools and instruments you can use along with the roadmap to build your network. Okay, so this is what we're talking about today. So I want to let you know what's coming up. Next week, we're going to talk about 10 ways to promote your brand on LinkedIn. And I am choosing these particular topics because they are all part of the activities that LinkedIn recommends for you if you want to do social selling. And social selling is simply using social media to sell. Okay, so the first one is 10 ways to promote your brand on LinkedIn. That is one of the pillars that LinkedIn has for its social selling index. Close more sales on LinkedIn without being pushy, phony, or manipulative. That's coming up in 2 weeks. You are going to be amazed at how easy it can be to close sales when you follow this system. And then finally, on Wednesday, May 31st, I'm having a master class. This is going to be a 3-hour master class about how you can build and promote your brand on LinkedIn. Oh yes, Shelby, I totally agree. So you're asking what tools you can use to do this research. I am going to be covering that. I can't cover it today, but I am definitely going to be covering it. And so watch what's coming out from me. I also, if you opt into the LinkedIn roadmap, it's going to talk to you about some of that. And I am just going to, whoops, it didn't copy. I am going to copy and drop that link for you right now because I don't want any of you to miss it. And then I'll drop it again at the end too. There you go. Okay, that is the link to the roadmap. All right, so we have 3 things coming up: 10 ways to promote your brand, how to close more sales, and then how to build your brand in bits and bytes and promote it on LinkedIn. And all of that is really important. Okay, so let's talk about why you want to be on LinkedIn. And I totally recommend that you be on LinkedIn. And here are the reasons. Number one, it has conversion rates that are higher than any of the other platforms, and that includes Google Ads. Now, LinkedIn ads are very expensive. I don't normally recommend to people that they use LinkedIn ads because they are significantly more expensive than other ads. But there are all other kinds of ways to convert people on LinkedIn. So that's one piece. Also, 80% of online leads and I didn't put this in there, in the B2B area come from social media, come from LinkedIn. And it's very close to that percentage on B2C. LinkedIn users are more affluent than those on other platforms. Why is this important? Not only can they appreciate what you have to offer because they are in business also, they can actually afford your premium services. And that's important. You want them to be able to afford your service. And then finally, 33% of B2B decision makers use LinkedIn to research purchases. Now, who are decision makers? They're owners, they're sales team leaders, they're project coordinators. They are all kinds of different decision makers who make decisions about purchases. And that's what we're talking about. Who's going to purchase your stuff? Okay, so where does LinkedIn fit into I'm going to make this larger. Oh, much better. Where does LinkedIn, where does prospecting fit into the lucrative LinkedIn system? Oh, I'm so glad I made that a little larger. You can actually see it. Okay, so there are 4 steps. And if you do each of these steps, I promise you that you are going to be in a good place on LinkedIn. Once you have your system set up, you're going to be able to tear it up in 15 to 30 minutes a day max. Okay, so the first step is clarity. And you have to do this before you can do anything else. So you're going to get really clear on your goals. You're going to get clear on your niche. We just talked about that. And you're going to get clear on your personal brand. So with your goals, those are based on your business goals. Your goals on LinkedIn are going to be different your strategies on LinkedIn are going to be different for different goals. So it's important that you really understand your goals. So if your goal this year is to grow your network of people who can potentially be the clients or referral partners and those things. That's a different goal, and you're going to use different strategies than if you're a new author and you want to promote your book to be on more stages. Okay, two very different strategies, but for different goals. Now, your niche we just talked about. You have to get really clear on your niche. And then finally, what's your personal brand? And I'm going to go more into this in a couple of weeks when we do build your brand. But your brand is made up of things that are really essential to you. Your purpose, your values, your vision, your gifts. What are your superpowers, your personality, and your quirks. It's a real truism that people don't buy from you because you're the best. Sorry. People buy from you because you're different. They're kind of different. So for instance, if you're looking for a career coach, you may not want somebody who comes on and goes, help, help, the sky is falling, right? You don't need that in a career coach. You don't need someone excitable. You need someone who's going to say, and your next step. Oh, good job on that. Now let's take it to the next step. You're going to want someone who's fairly calm and capable of feedback. The next stage is awareness. Now, in awareness, this is where you build your profile, and it's also where you first look at content marketing, because you should have no more than 3 main messages. And I really suggest 3 because that's a really good number. It's a good number for marketing. It's a good number to deal with in terms of content. So if you have 3 main messages, then those are the messages that your profile is going to deliver. And then finally, you look at automation. How can you use automation proactively and responsibly to forge new connections with your ideal clients? Okay, the third step is lead generation. That's where we are today. That's prospecting, finding the right clients on LinkedIn, connecting, sending invitations that actually get responses, and then messaging, the same thing, or nurturing that relationship, building that relationship with potential clients over a period of time so they get to know, like, and trust you. And then finally, there's sales and analysis. And this is where you actually have that sales conversation and where you look at your metrics. Remember, in the first stage, we set goals. Well, at the same time you're setting your goals, you want to determine what metrics are going to show you whether you're progressing towards those goals. So that's why I'm recommending the LinkedIn, the LinkedIn roadmap, because I actually send you a metrics tracker that you can use. Okay, so 7 ways to find your ideal clients using LinkedIn. Now, I'm going to go through and show you each of these, all right? But I just want to kind of real quickly give you a rundown. You can look at your followers. Not, everyone who is a connection is a follower, but not every follower is a connection. And people are following you because they saw something that they liked. So take advantage of that. Turn around and look at who's following you that you may not have added as a connection and invite them to connect. Okay, another example is profile views. How many people are finding and looking at your profile? If you're trying to build your network or you're trying to, engage and make your relationship stronger, how many people are looking at your profile and how often is really good information. You can also look at people also viewed. This shows up on other people's profiles, so I will show you how to find that. There are connection suggestions. LinkedIn suggests to you when you log in people that you can connect with, and I'm going to give you a caveat on that in a little while. You can use advanced search. And advanced search can be used to find everyone from school alumni that you share experiences with to the connections of your competitors and followers. I mean, it is really, really helpful. And then finally, groups. And LinkedIn also makes it very easy to search by groups. So all of those are options. Okay, I just dropped this in the chat a few minutes ago, but I am going to drop the roadmap link in again because I want to make sure that you get it. I am looking at comments right now. Does anybody have a question for me right at this point? If you do, I'm going to stop here and look at that because I want to make sure I get your questions answered. I'm going to wait a minute, and then if we don't have any questions, we'll just trot over to LinkedIn and look at it from there. So hold on, because I am going to pull linked up so that I can share it with you. Okay, so I am not seeing anything, so I am going to go to present. Let's look. Share screen. Okay. Okay, why is it not bringing that up? Oh, I wonder if I have to do it through Chrome. Hold on a second. Okay. Oh no, did it lose it? Okay, looks like maybe it will do it. Let's hold. Let's try this again. Okay, share screen. It is not pulling. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Hopefully you are seeing this right now. I'm also going to send out the replay and the slides to everyone. So don't worry about that. Let's see. Where shall we start? Well, let's start with followers. Okay, I'm going to go to my profile real quickly. Okay, there are a number of ways that you can find analytics on your profile. One is by looking at your followers. So since I have creator mode, my followers are up here at the top. But if you don't have creator mode, they're going to be down in your activity right here. So I could click here and you can see, okay, I have 4,553 followers. I am not following all of them. You can see the ones that I'm following. But you can also, there will be, and I'm not seeing it right now, but it will show me, I'll be able to connect with them from here. And it's not showing that to me right off the bat. Let's see. Oh, okay. So you can see the ones that I am not connected to here. I'm not connected here, so I could click follow. I'm not connected here, so I could click follow. And that is one way to find your ideal clients on LinkedIn. Hold on just a second. Okay. Another way that you can do it is by profile view. So hold on, I'm going to go to my profile. Come on. There we go. Okay, up here, now I have Sales Navigator, so I could do this in a different way. But if I go up here, it's not showing my activities because I have creator mode turned off, and I can turn it back on. But I'm going to go over here because you can also do it in Sales Navigator. It doesn't look quite the same in LinkedIn as it does in Sales Navigator, but it looks really, really close. So in Sales Navigator, I can see all the people who, wait, hold on a second. Let me go back here for a second. Okay. If you have a premium program, you can see it this way. It's going to be very, very similar. Okay, so here you can see it says who's viewed your profile. So now I can go in, and because I have a premium account, I can look at the last 14 days. I can look at the last 365 days. I can go down and see what industries they fall in, what location they're in. I can look at all of my filters and filter them by that and see exactly who these people are. Let's say I'm looking and seeing, did anybody who's in advertising services? Well, 3 people did, over the last 28 days who were in advertising services. So this is all really, really good information because it can tell you how well you're doing with this, okay? And that is one thing that you really want to see. So you can look at who viewed your profile, and then you can come down and you can invite them. Now, if you have the free version of LinkedIn, you can only get, I'm trying to think, you can only get, hold on. Yeah, come on, stop it. Okay, it's not letting me get out of there. Okay, so we're not going to, oh, here we go. No. Here we go. Okay, so back over here again. Hold on a second. Back to LinkedIn. Another way that you can find people on LinkedIn, and this is actually my very favorite way, is to go to all filters. So I am going to all I did was position my cursor in the search field and hit all filters. Now let's say that I am looking for, let's say I'm looking for people who help with personal branding. So I can put that in there and I can just look at people instead of all. So that gives me 124,000 people who have something to do with personal branding. Now, this is the cool part though. I can go over here. I'm going to click second degree connections because I'm already connected to my first degree connections. I can get to them. I can't get to my third degree connections unless I have an email or an introduction. So I'm not going to look for them. Instead, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look for people who are connected to one of my colleagues or competitors. In this case, I'm going to use Deb Dibb, who is a master personal and digital strategist who works with career coaches and career professionals on polishing up their copy, when they've written something. So I might look at simply looking at, I want to know all of her associates who are in professional training and coaching. Okay, and I only want to look at people who speak English and maybe consulting and coaching and mentoring. Now let's see what kinds of results I get. No results. Okay, that's because I got too specific. Okay, so I'm going to do, whoops, I'm going to come over here. Yeah, okay. I got locked out for a minute. All filters. Okay, so I'm going to take off a lot of this. I'm going to take off the services and let's see what shows up this time. Okay, 78 results. 78 people is a good number. You can work with that number of people. I strongly suggest that you not try to add 100 people a week to your network. I mean, you can, and you can get very specific with their invitations. But remember, the best way to get people to accept your invitations on LinkedIn is by going to their personal profile. Because when you're on their personal profile and you click connect, it will ask you if you want to add a note. And the answer is yes, because then you can put a 300 character note in that. Now, That includes white spaces. So this is a very, very short note. But in that, you should tell them why you want to, who you are, who you help, and why you want to connect, and give them the opportunity to respond. Okay, so that's one way of finding people. You can also go back in. Let's go in and let's look at. I don't want to look at connections anymore. Whoop. I'm going to get rid of this if I can. Okay, I'm just going to reload, see if that does it. Okay, so I'm going to use all filters. Oh, it's still doing it. No, it's not going to let me do it. Anyway, you can do the same thing with followers. You can sort people by followers. And if I go down here, see, I can add someone else. So let's say Sue Jones. I don't know a Sue Jones, but let's say that she's in there, and I could, come down. I could look at what she does and I could follow her. Now, one really great way to identify people is to look for people who follow people that you're already connected with. For instance, you might come in here and with personal brand, you might go to all filters and say, whoops, that's not going to let me, let's reset. Okay, that'll do it. All right, so I can now go in and I can once again choose personal brand. I can go to people again. Then I can come over here and I can look for followers of someone. So this is a really great way to identify people who are influencers. Another way to do it would be to come here and do personal brand, just like I have. Go to people. And then select all filters. And go down here to talks about. So maybe I'm just looking for people who talk about personal branding and branding. So let's look at the results there. Okay, 3,400 results. That's still a lot of results, but I'm starting to narrow down who the influencers are in my field. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to find them and look at their connections, because they're going to have lots of connections I could use. So that's another way that you can do it. Hold on just a second. All right, one other way that I'm going to show you real quickly is using all filters. Wait, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to search for someone on here. Okay, so since I'm already picking on her, I'm going to go to Deb, who, by the way, I do not, whoops, remove all filters. Okay. I do not consider, she's a mentor. She's amazing. She's not a competitor. I couldn't possibly compete with her. And she has 500 connections and all of that. But see over here in this column, people also viewed. This tells you about people who are similar to her or offer similar services that you might be able to pull up. So by looking at that, you're going to find more clients who are a possibility. Okay. And also using, hold on, the search filters. Let's see, how can I show you this? Well, actually, yeah. Okay, so I can put personal brand again. But this time, when I go to the search filters, I can click groups. And what this is going to do is it's going to pull up all of the groups that deal with that. Now, once you're in a group, then you can respond to things that people say and invite them or invite them to comment back. You can start interacting. So I'm in the 360 Reach personal brand group, so I can go over here and see this. I can invite connections to join the group, but I can also go down here and I can say, okay, giving out loud, this looks interesting. I'm going to comment on this. And maybe Grace will, when she sees my comment back. And so we'll start getting a conversation going. So I can follow people and I can also save people. So I can save that item, and then I can go to view all, and it will bring that right back up again. And I still have her there as someone that I can connect with. And here's what I was talking about with the connections. When you go to connect with someone, I'm going to click connect here and see it says add a note. So you can add a note that's up to 300 characters. 300 characters is super short, I'm here to tell you. So what I would suggest is that you make up some invitations that you can use that you can then copy and paste into here. I have about 6 ones that I typically use depending on who they are, what they're doing, whether maybe we went to school together or, we both know somebody in common. Any of those things are good to put in your note to your invitation. It may be somebody from the University of Florida. I went to the University of Florida. So I can say, go Gators. Or, oh, were you there in that dreadful game when, we were all in the rain and it was, Georgia beat us by 102-0, so you can add something there. And that is always a good way to get people to interact with you. So you can go to people in groups and search for them. You can go to people in your leads and do it. And you can also go in when you land on home and you go to, this is, where you're logged in. This is your home screen. And you go to My Network. It is going to show you how you can add more. It's going to, okay, hold on. Yeah, it's going to let me search by my contacts. I do not suggest that you upload contacts from your address book because LinkedIn's going to send them all the same message, that generic, I'd like to add you to my network on LinkedIn. Not really very exciting. So that's not going to get you a whole bunch of answers. So I would use one of the other methods. Now, hold on just a second. I'm going to try and get back to StreamYard. Okay. I'm looking here. I'm going to hang out for a second in case you guys have any questions. I'm going to close LinkedIn for now. And I'm going to come back over here. If you have questions, I can answer them now. It looks like we're okay. Okay, so we are back. Good to see all of you. I hope that roadmap is really, really great for you. If you are watching this on the replay, bless you. We love having you watch on the replay, and we will be sending it out. So if you are watching it on the replay, please be sure to go to that link and download the roadmap, because I'm going to send you more tools and more help over a period of about 10 days. So you're not just getting the roadmap, you're going to get all kinds of cool stuff with it. Now, there's one other thing that I want to make you aware of, and hold on a second. Hold on a second. There is an event coming up this weekend that is, or not this weekend, next weekend, that I want you to know about because it is just really important. So hold on a second. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm going to give you a link here. Okay, the reason that I am recommending Collaborate to all of you is because this is a great event. This changed my business. I mean, it literally changed my business. I was really struggling when I went to Collaborate for the first time 2 years ago. And through Collaborate, I have new partners who help promote me. I have I help them promote themselves, and we all help each other. So this is a great place to develop joint venture partners. And joint venture partners are people who promote your services and your programs to other people. Now, in Collaborate, it's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Starts at 9 a.m. Pacific, no, at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're in my time zone, 11 a.m. And they will teach you how to pitch to joint venture partners. And you'll have chances to get in individual rooms with other people who might have an interest. They may have the same niche you do, but offer different services. And they are very interested in striking deals where they will promote you and you will promote them. So if you've never been to anything like this, I really, really recommend it. So I am not seeing any questions here. I'm going to assume that you all have just been mesmerized by what I said, and that you will be here soon. But listen, I'm going to send out, with the follow-up, I'm going to send out another blurb on Collaborate too, because this really is worthwhile doing. If you do nothing else this year, getting joint venture partners who will promote your programs, people who will email their list 3 times about your upcoming, seminar or webinar or class, is worth its weight in gold. So that's why I'm promoting this. So listen, y'all, it has been fun. I love my Wednesdays because I get to talk with all of you. And with that, I'm going to say, this is Dumont Owen. Ta-ta for now.